Adolf Hitler. But the First World War was a turning point. Hitler enlisted in the Bavarian army, serving as a corporal and earning recognition for his service. Yet the war's end in 1918 struck him profoundly. Germany's defeat and the harsh terms of the Treaty of Versailles left him, like many others in post-war Germany, bitter and disillusioned. It was amid this turmoil that Hitler found his calling: politics. One of the most infamous figures in human history, a name synonymous with dictatorship, destruction, and genocide. How did a failed artist born in a small Austrian town rise to become the architect of one of the most devastating chapters in world history? Today, we trace the life and legacy of Hitler, not to glorify, but to understand the forces and decisions that shaped his ascent and the horrors that followed in his wake. Hitler was born in Braunau am Inn, Austria, on April 20th, 1889. As a child, he harbored dreams of becoming an artist. But his ambitions faltered when he was twice rejected by the Academy of Fine Arts, Vienna. This failure, compounded by personal tragedies, ignited within him a deep resentment that would later fuel his unrelenting quest for power. He drifted aimlessly in his youth, living in relative obscurity. But the First World War was a turning point. Hitler enlisted in the Bavarian army, serving as a corporal and earning recognition for his service. Yet the war's end in 1918 struck him profoundly. Germany's defeat and the harsh terms of the Treaty of Versailles left him, like many others in post-war Germany, bitter and disillusioned. It was amid this turmoil that Hitler found his calling: politics. In 1919, he joined the German Workers' Party, an obscure nationalist group in Munich. What started as a membership quickly evolved into leadership, as Hitler's zealous speeches drew in crowds hungry for someone to voice their frustrations. Rebranded as the National Socialist German Workers' Party, or the Nazi Party, this movement became a vehicle for Hitler's ambitions. In 1923, he attempted to seize power through the Beer Hall Putsch, a failed coup that landed him in prison. But the setback allowed him time to write Mein Kampf, a manifesto outlining his ideology of racial purity and his vision for Germany's resurgence. Upon his release, Hitler rebuilt the Nazi Party into a more coordinated force, leveraging propaganda and street violence to undermine the fragile Weimar Republic. By 1933, Hitler had maneuvered his way to becoming Chancellor of Germany. Within months, he consolidated power, dismantling democratic institutions and declaring himself Führer. The Nazi regime unleashed sweeping policies of anti-Semitism, censorship, and militarization. Hitler's vision of a 1,000-year Reich involved not only territorial expansion, but also the systematic persecution of Jews and other minorities, a genocide that would culminate in the Holocaust, the murder of 6 million Jews and millions of others. The world was pulled into the deadliest conflict in history when Hitler's Germany invaded Poland in 1939, igniting World War II. In the years that followed, the Axis powers, under Hitler's direction, conquered vast territories but inflicted utter devastation wherever they marched. However, the war's tide began to turn. By 1945, his empire crumbled under the pressure of Allied forces. Trapped in his bunker as Berlin fell, Hitler took his own life on April 30th, 1945, leaving behind a world scarred by war and an unfathomable loss of human life. Adolf Hitler's life remains a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked ambition, extremist ideologies, and the human cost of hate. The Holocaust and World War II remind us of our responsibility to preserve democracy, confront prejudice, and ensure that history's darkest chapters are never repeated.